of not giving people proper health care because that creates an evil precedent in government for everybody.
Well, it's illegal, for one thing. It's no right that they get medical care, so it's not even an argument anymore. They're going to get it. It's just a matter of how they're going to get it and how, when is the light bulb going to go on to the general public that you're actually paying for this, and they're not being appropriated correctly, and no one within the Department of Corrections or the contracted health care providers, and there are over 60 of them operating in the United States today. Mm-hmm. These contracted health care providers, which are public or private, are not being held accountable. And
it's clearly getting worse as society unravels. There's no oversight. I mean, they can admit, at dozens of locations they rape the children publicly in Texas, and that's just the way it is. And, at CPS facilities from Florida to Michigan, the kids sleep on linoleum floors and bed sores in their own feces, like Russia. And they go, that's just what government does. So it's all part of a larger situation. Stay there. Let's talk about their diets when we come back.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
Attention gardeners, this is an urgent GCN self-reliance update. GCN has just discovered a new bioactive superfood for garden plants, flowers, and herbs. It's called ProtoGrow, and it's so effective at producing rapid plant growth that it seems to almost force plants to grow like crazy under practically any soil and light conditions. Now, here's the best part for our listeners who garden for self-reliance. ProtoGrow's unique blend of C nutrients maximizes mineral uptake and dramatically increases bloom set, creating maximum plant growth in minimum time. ProtoGrow works by providing geometric keys, which have the capacity to actually unlock the genetic code for nutritional uptake in plants. ProtoGrow's full spectrum plant fertility means fruits and vegetables with extraordinary taste and up to 10 times the nutritional value. And if you want to double or triple the potency of herbs or wheatgrass, you can. If you want to grow nutritionalized superfoods with non-hybrids, it's now easy. GCN listeners who want to grow dirt cheap superfoods should visit the ProtoGrow website at growlikecrazy.com. That's www.growlikecrazy.com, or call 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365.
In the New World Order's war against humanity, Barack Obama is the tip of the spear.
We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well-funded.
The Obama deception completely destroys the myth that Obama is working for the best interest of the American people.
Well, Obama's already fudging. He's fudged since day one in this election.
If you have a demagogue with a fanatical mass movement of personality cultists who is imposing the program of a group of extreme bankers and finance oligarchs, that's fascism.
It's not about left or right. It's about a one-world government. This film documents who Obama works for, the lies he has told, and his real agenda. Get your copy of The Obama Deception today at Infowars.com or download it in super high quality at PrisonPlanet.tv. The Obama Deception. The people strike back.
You already know that drinking pure, high-alkaline pH water is the most important factor in maintaining high energy and vibrant health. Most experts agree that the water you drink should be at a pH level of 8 or higher. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops combine a unique formula of the most alkaline ingredients. Using Plasma pH drops is one of the best ways to make your water alkaline, to help you get rid of acid and regain your health and energy. Simply put 10 drops per liter of water you drink to raise the pH to the ultimate level. Alkalizing water helps your body rid itself of acidic waste and increases the oxygen content of your body. Disease organisms like bacteria and cancer cannot survive in an alkaline, high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops now by going directly to alkavision.com. That's ALKAvision.com. Or by calling 269-216-9767. 269-216-9767 today.
We had Webster Tarpley on today for about an hour and a half. We had a report from our reporters we sent for a film we're making to California to cover the tent cities. Now they're making them go to basically a FEMA facility. Now they are prisoners there. We've confirmed that with the wands and the searches. We also had We Are Change pop in about Luke Radowski and other reporters being arrested for trespassing at a major hotel when they weren't told to leave. They said, stay here, and then said, we told you to leave, you wouldn't. And but a lot of shows this week. I'm going to open the phones up and take a lot of calls because I want to get back into taking more calls. But there's so many guests, so much information we want to put out as well. It's a catch-22. Karen Russo, She's with the Wrongful Death and Injury Institute, wrongfuldeathinstitute.com. wrongfuldeathinstitute.com. My website, of course, is infowars.com. Just a great tyranny going on in the prisons and the CPS and handicapped people, you name it. I mean, it's going on all over the world. This is what government does when the good people stop getting involved and organized. So before you leave, get into how folks need to get organized and some of the powers they do have to try to rectify this, because it'll only get worse if we don't. But let's get into some of the other horrors that folks aren't aware of, turning over this rock. The diet alone, you're like, who cares what they eat? Well, the diet's making them sick, and then more money for health care. Explain that.
Well, the whole modus operandi behind the Department of Corrections is cost containment. When anybody goes to their government website and pulls up the Department of Corrections budget, you're going to see an astronomical amount. That is probably one of the highest budgets within the state government that there will be, is the DOC budget. So their whole goal is to contain costs, whether it's health care, medical services, or foodstuffs. I don't think it's any news to any of your listening audience. It sure isn't any news to the inmates that the food within a prison system is about a D- or an F. The inmates suspect that a lot of it is contaminated. A lot of them do get sick. A lot of prison facilities around the country have modified their dietary requirements to where some prisons don't even serve meat anymore. So you have some issues there that clearly affect health overall. And one area that it affects tremendously is that of diabetes. And I don't think it's any news to all of you, too, that diabetics have to really monitor what they eat. Prison is not conducive to diabetics. As such, the majority of these individuals, if they have outside family members that put money on their accounts, which allow them to go to the commissary and buy other foods that are more conducive to maintaining their diabetic blood sugar levels, they will opt to go to a commissary rather than eat in the chow line. For inmates that do not have anybody to put money on their accounts, they are forced to eat the food in the prison. And what that does, they get extremely obese. Their blood sugar levels go off the charts. The blood sugar levels in a prison setting, the average is anywhere from 200 to 550. And that is considered normal for state departments of correction medical health care units. They don't even worry about it. So if an inmate falls out from a coma or a diabetic coma, they're going to attribute it always in the medical record. It's going to be the inmate's fault for not maintaining a healthy and proper diet. And it's a catch-22. It's not only a catch-22, it's like putting these inmates and their families on a gerbil wheel. You're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't, and it's never going to be the prison's fault because they're like Teflon. They want nothing sticking on them, and they're going to go out of their way to document that way.
But explain, through the bureaucracy, explain to people just the soy alone.
As a healthcare detriment?
Yes.
Well, get me on a track you want me to go on, because I'll veer off and we'll miss the whole point.
Well, no. I mean, I just happen to know that more and more they're feeding them soy that has the estrogen mimickers, and that's causing them to grow breast, become very unhealthy, and all the problems that causes.
Well, it does, but and here's the other thing. And on the point of that, if inmates suspect this, and they have verifiable proof, or somebody's told them, and you really don't even have to have proof. All one has to do, if I'm an inmate, is I'm going to contact somebody on the outside, preferably a family member, and this is why family members become so important. They have the skill and the ability and the information in front of them to go after these contracts. These prisons have contracts with everything. Nothing happens in that prison without a contract, and the same thing goes for the foodstuffs. So if somebody suspects that soy is being delivered to the inmate population at an unbelievable rate, and the soy may be contaminated itself, all one has to do is access the contract through the Department of Corrections and request a copy of it. They have to give it to you. So rather than have question marks around everything that happens with an inmate, which is what we do with our clients and the families. Damn, if you're telling me that your loved one suspects that we've got contaminated food on the shelf and they're being fed this and it hasn't changed in 6 months, let's go get the contract and see if it has been.
And let's explain why that happens a lot throughout history. You've got big corporations that have junk they can't sell to stores, but they'll